Hey, Facebook Live peeps, Judy here, Life Mastery Consultant, here with some content today called The Hero's Journey. I'm going to let a couple of you come on, and I wanted to tell you that if you know anyone who's been on a hero's journey the last couple of weeks, I mean, you know, this whole thing could either shake you or shape you. And so this is like the second a little bit of content on standing firm when your world is shaking. I thought I would do just a little synopsis of it, and we had our class Monday night, but I wanted to come in while it was still fresh on my mind of where we are on this journey of change and transformation. So hello to everyone. Like, love, love, love. And I say that because the more likes and comments and everything that you leave, it pushes this out into Facebook land. Who, in other words, like people who wouldn't necessarily like me or get into their, hey, Tracy, great, I love it. Good to see you. I love it. So, thank you, like, love, love. Hey, Lynn, chill. All right, we'll be seeing you guys in a couple days. So here we go. The hero's journey. A couple of you guys, I was at church the other day, sitting in a pew, and the lady says, "I just love that boot that you have here." Let me show you and tell you a little story of this. This is a boot that was on my leg when I broke it in April. And I was bound and determined that it was going to be healed. And so I did all this really mojo stuff that I teach and stuff to it. And so now it's my planter with a bamboo plant on. It's the rhizome area down there for those of you coaches. All right, it looks like a lot of you guys are popping in. Hi, Jocelyn. So good to see you, and then know that y'all are safe and sound and you're on this hero's journey. Like I said before, this whole thing could either shake you or shape you. And at times it does both. All right? So last week we were talking about being in the dark night. You know, that whole thing where everything is turned upside down and that you're just shook. And we were talking about writing that down because that's going to be your starting point. And saying these 5 words, I am better. I am more than that. I am more than that. Knowing that, okay, these are just circumstances. I am more than that. And then just making a decision to get the gift of no matter what it is that you're going through. Tonight, this afternoon, we're talking about the second part of standing firm. And yeah, it is a process. It really is. My past, the way I would always want to do things, I wanted to start at A and get to Z as quick as I could and forget all the steps in between. Are any of you guys like that? I just want to just jump to the end and everything's going to turn out okay. But there's so much to be learned and gleaned from all of this process that you're going through. Hey, Robert, I love it. I haven't been on here in a little bit. Okay, here, understanding the hero's journey. Now, this comes from Joseph Campbell. He defined the hero's journey after his research into culture, time, and history. Isn't that cool? And it becomes a template for understanding our own experiences of trials and triumph. There you go. So there's 3 parts that he's defined in this journey. You want to write this down. If you don't have a pen, grab one. I'm posting this right after. You can do the replay. Send it on to your clients, whoever needs this. Okay, 3 parts to the hero's journey. The first part, number 1, is the departure. Okay, you're a hero, and then departure. And that's it's to leave some sort of life that you've known. We're leaving some sort of life that you've known. And I want to step out here and say, it seems like, at least here in Texas, we've left some sort of life that we've known, where before the storms, or I don't know if you feel that way in the East Coast, or the fires, there was this life, and now it's like we're leaving that life behind. Leaving that life behind. So it could be like the relationship, the job, the security, maybe you're going through divorce, maybe bankruptcy. The departure is the first part of the journey. Hey, Ann Cole. Okay. And it's kind of like, if you let it, a call to adventure. Because you're being called to a greater life. Yeah, a greater life. And if you answer the call, things tend to go a lot more smoothly because there's less resistance. And if you refuse the call, then the life that's seeking a greater, freer, fuller, more expanded expression through you gets bigger than your refusal. And it'll ramp up all of those circumstances. Did you ever get out of bed and like bump your toe and go, oh, this is going to be a bad day? And yeah, it is. And you go out and your car won't start. Well, there it is. And the circumstances get like bigger and bigger to where like, okay? Well, it's Joseph Campbell in this first part called The Departure calls it supernatural aid. And it's actually the aid of your soul and life seeking to support you in becoming more and becoming more than that. Either you're going to lean into the circumstances, or the circumstances are going to lean into you. You know, and all of those crazy things come up, that your old way of behaviors, your old addictions come up, like 10 dozen cookies get eaten all of a sudden. Leaning into the circumstances. I am more than that. So you may think, I wish I would have done things differently. Has anybody ever had that? Like, God, I wish I would have done it differently. But really the truth is, if you could have done it differently, you would have. And we just letting yourself off the hook, you did the best you knew how with the information and the awareness that you had at the time. In the hero's journey, you get the call to become more. You're going to answer it willingly or unwillingly, but you're going to have to answer. All right, part one was the departure on the journey. The second phase of a hero's journey is the initiation. And that's where you're crossing this threshold. You get the diagnosis. The bankruptcy attorney says you have to close down. The relationship ends. And you feel betrayed, or the hurricanes are there and you don't, it's just like wipe out. And this is where the initiation, there's these roads of trials, and you're tested and you find yourself vulnerable to the new situation. It feels bigger than you. And it reveals a part of yourself that you never really knew existed. An example for me was, we're sitting up here in Austin, Texas, and everything was cool. You know, we had big storms, couple trees down, and you know, we were supporting everybody, you know, and all of that. And then all of a sudden my electricity went out. Like, oh my God, this is real. I'm in the middle of this. But the thing that really killed me was when I went to the gas station and there was no gas. And I'm like, okay, this is real. I did not sign up for this part of it. You know, but knowing that deep down I'm more than that, and looking at the funny thing, looking back at this initiation phase, and a lot of you know me will kind of chuckle because I drive this little smart car that gets 40 miles a gallon. So this whole thing about gas, it hit me, and it hit a lot of different people out here. So that was just a phase of this journey. Okay? So that which you knew of yourself, which is mostly human, okay, and that which is already existent in you, which is that divine or your soul, is intersecting and making you more available to yourself. You begin to discover that there are parts of you that you didn't know existed. Isn't that wild? That part of you that will rise up that you didn't know existed. So I love this. Jesus said, we can't put new wine in old wineskins. They'll crack. It takes something moldable, shapeable, and supple to that energy that's seeking to emerge in you. So some of the structures of the life you've known aren't big enough for the person that you're becoming. We've all watched little kids learning how to walk, right? They're they get up and they fall down, they get up and they fall down. But not once have I ever seen a little kid say, that's it, just not meant to be a walker. No, that's this initiation phase. So the first phase was the departure from the life that you've known. The second phase of the hero's journey is the initiation phase. The third part of the hero's journey is called that return. The return. And because the journey changes you. You just don't come back the same person. Whoops. You don't come back the same person. It changes you. Oh, there we go. Okay. You know, because what you've learned is that you can get bigger than your circumstances. This whole journey has grown you. I'm going to put my neck out. This whole journey has grown our country. It's grown our world. You've gained powers and developed abilities, but mostly you've gained and grown in wisdom. This is going to be a great story, this journey, for you to sit and tell your grandkids and to write down. It's so important to write it down for the next generation. So you got the gift it came to give you, and now you're ready to return and move on to the next phase of your evolution. Here's a quote that I really love from my mentor, Mary Morrissey, is, I would not wish where I've been on anybody, but I'd wish where it took me on everybody. That's the true hero's journey. I'd not wish where I've been on anybody, but I'd wish where it took me on everybody. So we're on this incredible hero's journey that enables us to discover that intersection of being very fully human and also fully divine. The content of our lives is the curriculum of this discovery. So there we go. Facebook Live, little content. Week 2 in Standing Firm when your world is shaking. Next Monday I'll be delivering week 3, which is titled Harvesting the Good. If you know anyone that, please share this content. If you know anyone who's going through a hard time and trying to make sense of it, please share this. Please share this content. Also, next Monday night at 7 o'clock Central, I'll be on a teleclass, 712-775-7085, and the code is 809-882. There's an event page with it and everything. And next week, we're talking about harvesting the good. So it is a process, it is a journey, and I so welcome all of you who've decided that, and to be courageous enough to go through this journey to the other side, because we are learning tools that traverse life's toughest terrains. I love that. Okay? So for a little bit of life work, homework, whatever that you could do, and I would highly encourage is to take a pen out and also send it to me. Send me a document, whatever, about your personal journey. Like, where was it, your departure? What did you leave behind on your hero's journey? Some people here have left behind their entire homes and everything that meant anything to them. Okay? And did you do it willingly or unwillingly? No judgment here. The second part, right about your initiation, what are some of the trials that you're encountering or have encountered with this? Now, we're not doing a spiritual bypass here saying, oh, everybody came in and helped me and everything was good. I love that part about what's happening internally, what's happening with you. This is something that will really grow you. So what did you discover about yourself that you did not know was there before? And then the return. How has this journey that you've been on changed you? What is it that you can share with others from what you've learned? I'm looking forward to getting some good comments, good feedback. Also, anyone who needs a little bit of help, I'm here. I teach programs, 12 weeks, 6 months programs, and coach people through to this vision of the life that you would love to live. So I decided to do this series because back when I decided, it was people were not in this dream builder mode. They needed to help right here, right now. And so this is like the really initial phase before we get into this dream builder process. So thank you so much for tuning in. Like, share. Judy Matejcek, Life Mastery Consultant, building people, building dreams. Go out and dream big, dream bold, and accomplish brilliantly. So I hope that you like this. Over and out. See you next time.